Yeah, thanks again for joining me and Seed for this spotlight interview. And yeah, we'll get right into it. So, first of all, I was wondering what inspired you to start PuncHIIT, and how did your background in combat sports shape the way you built the business in the first place?
Well, I've been involved in combat sports pretty much all my life. I remember at 4 years old, I was started training boxing, so I started from a pretty early age. So it's been pretty much a part of my life forever. So I've done boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, Taekwondo back in my younger days. So those all those things taught me discipline and resilience and the power of community. And
Mhm.
so when I started Punch It, my vision was to bring all those lessons into a fitness space that wasn't intimidating. So,
Right.
as you know, fight gyms can be intimidating for some people. So I didn't really want to
Sure.
be a fight gym, but we want to welcome all levels, all types of backgrounds, and I just want people to feel that they're part of something bigger than just going to a gym, and not to feel intimidated, to feel comfortable there.
That's amazing because, yeah, from my experience going to martial arts gyms, a huge part of it is just the overall atmosphere and the people there.
Mhm. Yeah,
And
especially martial arts. Yeah,
Absolutely. So if you can build a good community around your business, then it's just a recipe for success going forward.
absolutely. Hmm.
Yeah. And then kind of working off of that, I was wondering when you were first starting out, how did you figure out that this idea was feasible? Because I know a lot of people have a passion for certain sports. But did you do market research, or did you just trust your instincts and kind of go for it because you knew that you had a passion in this area?
Well, I kind of dipped my toes in it a little bit before I started my business because I was running some group fitness programs for other gyms, for other facilities.
Okay.
So I got a good taste of it, as long as 12 years ago or more. And as far as group fitness space is this boutique style gym. So, but the biggest challenge is really getting people to trust something new.
Right.
We're not a big box gym. It's not a name that's well known out there,
Hmm.
and we're just a community-based fitness space. We just offer a different kind of training. We focus on training over exercise. So we don't just exercise for the sake of exercising. Our
Hmm.
exercising is to train for something, train a skill, train a strength. So it's just a matter of developing a trust in that. It takes time to educate people on what we're about, and it's still an ongoing thing. You're always working at getting more people to know what you're all about, getting the word out.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I just lean heavily on my personal connections in the community and
Hmm.
social media, of course, and just being consistent. Like you have to be at it all the time.
Yeah,
Social media, you have to be on it all the time, or nobody ever sees it. So just
exactly.
show up every day, deliver quality classes, and just create a positive experience. And if you can get people to buy in and trust, then you'll be successful.
Yeah, absolutely. I think a big part of that too is, as you say, a big challenge is getting them through the door in the first place and
Yeah,
gaining that
yeah.
trust. So I was
Mhm.
wondering, like, what are a couple key things that you find like really help people trust you in the first place?
Well, like I said, I rely on my staff, my clients, my staff, employees. It's not just me. I know I can't
Mhm.
do it on my own. So I invest in my folks as much as I possibly can.
I
So
see.
I hire and develop a strong team of coaches. Each has their own specialties. And that's allowed me to expand the variety and quality of classes that we offer.
Mhm.
So, and then of course on the resource side, CEED's helped out a lot, and that's allowing us to build out a new space and upgrade equipment and buy new equipment and invest in technology to manage our memberships and communication more smoothly. So we rely on our software that we use for the gym to communicate with clients and staff as well. So
Mhm.
that's an important part of it, constant communication. So
Right.
it's not flashy stuff, but it's allowed us to grow in a sustainable way.
That's
Mhm.
amazing.
Mhm.
Awesome. Well, apart from gaining that trust at the very start, if you were to look back to the early days when you first opened up, what would you say is the biggest challenge you faced, and how did you work through that challenge?
I have to say the biggest challenge is just getting the word out there.
Hmm.
That's the biggest challenge, getting people to know. Because even where we're at right now, we're currently in Spryfield. People walk through the doors and that live maybe a block or two away, and they say, "We don't even didn't even realize you were here," and we're
Right.
there for like 5, 6 years.
Hmm.
So that's definitely the biggest challenge is getting the word out to the right channels Social media, we have covered pretty good. We're pretty consistent at it. We do a
Mhm.
good job at it, I think. But not everybody follows social media. Not everybody follows your channels.
Right.
So that's always been the biggest challenge is getting the word out. So you have to do different things besides social media, like getting out in the neighborhood and networking and doing different events, outdoor events, maybe getting some exposure. So we do all kinds of different things in Spryfield and downtown Halifax and anywhere we can to get people in to at least know about us, and that helps develop that trust I was talking about earlier. Yeah,
Okay.
so
Yeah. That's
that's the definitely the biggest hurdle is just getting that word out there, getting the people to come in and try it. We have
Mhm.
some great ways to get people's feet in the door. We have our first class free option, and we have a 2 week
Okay.
trial for only $20. So for
Mhm.
$20, you can try out all the classes you want for 2 weeks, and that helps also getting the client in the door, getting them to try some things out, see how they fit in, and seeing how what an awesome community we have built.
That's amazing. Yeah, I can attest to the getting the foot in the door with a first free class because
Mm.
I've done that in the past with certain gyms, and I
Yeah,
think
yeah.
that's an amazing idea for any
Mm.
gym. Just because, like you said, the community is such a big part, and you don't want to take the risk and spend money on a
Mhm.
membership when you don't know what the community's like. So
Yeah.
yeah, I could definitely see how that could be a great resource to have.
Yeah, and our style gym, any boutique styles gym, you rely on community.
Exactly.
We're not relying on a big name that has a huge marketing budget. We're
Right.
relying on local community. It's just our people. Yeah, and the
Mhm.
clients help out the most. You walk into our gym and the clients are welcoming you, not just the staff. So the community's really developed hugely in our fitness facility, and it helps a lot.
That's amazing. And it must be so rewarding to see that community that you built over the years, and
Absolutely.
seeing how it kind of naturally builds on its own now that you have so many great
Mhm.
clients.
Yeah, it still takes a lot of work, but you have to
Of
keep that work
course.
going, and then the clients help, and it just exponentially grows from there. So once you get to a
Hmm.
certain turning point, it just exponentially starts growing faster and faster. Yeah,
Yeah,
so it's been pretty positive.
that's amazing to hear. Very cool. I know you touched on some of the things you invested on earlier, but I was just wondering what kind of investments or resources made the biggest difference in allowing you to expand or take things to the next level? Like, was there any investment you made where you were like, whoa, like that made a big difference?
Well, currently with our relocation, it's kind of been a forced thing, really, because our building
Mm.
is scheduled for demolition.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so we've had no choice but to plan this relocation. Wasn't even the best timing for us.
Mm.
We're just getting out of pandemic years,
Yeah, of
so
course. That
would have
must
loved to
be.
stay in business in Spryfield for many more years. And we tried to find uh, a facility that would suit us in Spryfield. We wanted to stay there.
Hmm.
I love it there. We have a huge community built. So
Right.
but we just could not find a suitable facility. But we did
Mm.
manage to find something pretty close by over in Fairview, so it's only 5 minutes away.
Oh,
So
that's good.
that's yeah. So that investment is kind of a forced investment, but a very positive
Right.
investment because now we can take on more communities like Fairview and Clayton Park, and a
Hmm.
lot of our clientele from Spryfield will stay with us. We may lose a small percentage because some people walk to the gym, some people bus it. So there might be a small percentage that we lose, but I think the majority will stay, where it's only an extra 5 minute drive over to Fairview from Spryfield.
Hmm.
So I think that's it's going to be a positive move no matter what. Yeah.
That's
And
amazing.
it's a
That's
big
good to hear.
investment. It's a big investment. It's going to
I
be a new
bet.
modern facility. So we're going to be
Hmm.
paying a lot more in rent, and we're going to invest in new equipment, and we're going to have recovery room services, like cold plunge and sauna, and we're going to have a treatment room for massage and physio. So, it's a lot of extra amenities we're adding too. So it's going to be a big investment, but it's going to be positive.
That's amazing. Yeah, it's
Mhm.
great to hear that, you got dealt a curveball that, you
Mhm.
didn't want to happen, but
Yeah,
as great entrepreneurs do, you can't sulk in sorry.
absolutely not. Absolutely not. You just got to keep going and keep
Yeah,
rolling. Yeah.
exactly.
Keep
Exactly.
working and keep trust. You just got to trust in your work ethic, trust in your community. And my staff is extremely loyal. Some of them have been with me for a dozen years. So
That's amazing.
they're following me till the end of time. So that makes me very happy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it must be amazing to
Make,
have that,
yeah, it
like,
makes my job easier. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. That's great. Yeah, you've talked about fitness as more than just an exercise. wondering if you could expand on that, because I know you've talked about how it builds resilience and
Mhm.
it, creates a supportive space for in a community. Like, how do you see your role in the Halifax fitness community, and like, what kind of impact do you think you've had on it so far?
I think one of the main things we put out there is that we're not about exercise, we're more about training. And that might sound intimidating to some people, but when you come through our doors, you're not just going in to just do an exercise and leave. We're training you for something. It doesn't have to, you don't have to do boxing or kickboxing with us. That's probably one of the most advanced skills to learn,
Mm-hmm, hmm.
but it's fun to learn. So
Absolutely.
we're there to teach a skill, and it doesn't mean you'll ever have to fight or anything like that. It's just learning a skill that
Mhm.
can give you more confidence and send you out there feeling good about yourself. It's a learned skill. It's not just exercise. And same with our
Absolutely.
group strength program. We train specifically for strengths to help you move better, more mobile, fix injuries. Same with our personal training. We follow that with our personal training too. Our group fitness classes are great, but we also do one-on-one personal training. We fix a lot of injuries. We do a lot of physio type work. We work with a local physio to assist us in that as well. So we're more about than just coming in for an exercise class. And community as I mentioned before, is a big part of it too. But our main motto is, stop exercising, start training, start exercise for a reason, have a purpose, and
Absolutely.
commit if it's happy with yourself because you learned and developed a skill you never thought you could. And
Right.
like I said, it doesn't have to be boxing or kickboxing. That can be
Mhm.
intimidating for some people, and some people just don't like it. But we also have kettlebells, we have group strength classes, we have TRX yoga, we have regular just boot camp circuits if people just want to have a fun circuit. And that one's
Mhm.
more about just getting exercise.
Right.
So that'd be like typically what everybody offers. You can do a boot camp. It's a mix of any kind of exercise. So it's just
Mhm.
made to be fun and engaging for the community. But everything else, we kind of focus on training. What's the purpose of this class? What's it going to get for the client? And we build off of that.
That's amazing. Yeah, I love that motto because for the longest time I just worked out at a gym and I found, it's good for you and you feel good afterwards, but
Yeah.
it doesn't feel very rewarding while you're doing it because you're just staring
Mhm.
at a wall lifting weights or whatever. So being able to
Yeah.
be in a class like that where you can not only get a great workout in, but meet new people and learn new skills, like it feels so much more rewarding and it's
Yeah,
that much more
exactly.
fun that it doesn't even feel like working out. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly. I
Yeah.
mean, and movement, if you're moving, it's all good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. That's
movement
that's
is
the main
movement.
thing.
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
we just want to give you a purpose. Hmm.
Yeah, exactly. Um, yeah, and I was wondering, entrepreneurship and coaching can be very demanding both physically and mentally at times. So I was
Hmm.
wondering, how do you manage burnout while keeping the energy and culture at PuncHIIT strong?
Yeah, I mean, burnout can be a real thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, and I do work a lot at this business, but for me, I love it so much. It's the effort is worth it.
Right.
I'm a bit of a workaholic anyway, so it's not a big stretch for me. But I don't expect the same from my other coaches and employees. I don't expect them to work as much as me, but they do. I do support them in making sure that they get the right recovery time. They get their own workouts in, so they're not just coming in and teaching a class and then they're gone. They'll
Hmm.
come in and they'll work out with us. They'll attend classes. All my personal trainers, we all work out together every day, Monday to Friday. So we're always engaged with each other and working out together and throwing ideas back and forth at each other. And we also have the recovery time to make up for all that because we are working out 5 times a week. You can burn yourself out, but we do
Hmm.
have recovery time as well. So my recovery time is leaning on my team, and they allow me to do that. So if I'm away from the gym for a day, I don't worry about it at all. I know my team is
Right.
there. They know my policies, they know my procedures, they know how I treat the community, and they do the same thing. Yeah, so they're strong at maintaining that community for me, so I don't worry about a thing. And if they have any issues, they know they can just call me. I'm right at the end of the phone for them anytime they want.
Right.
So if I offer them that comfort, that level of comfort, and
Hmm.
they're comfortable with running that gym when I'm not there, then it's I don't get burnt out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing. I'm
I
sure.
can take some recovery time. Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. It must
Mhm.
be such a relief to have employees around you that, you can trust enough to run the gym for a day or two so that you can take the
Yeah.
time off that you need and have a proper work-life balance. That's really great to
Yeah,
hear.
and they're so loyal to help me a lot. Yeah, so it's a big plus having good staff. So yeah, if
Yeah,
you're going to be an entrepreneur, invest in your staff, invest in
right.
your
The
people.
people you work with
Yeah,
can be the
yeah.
thing that makes or breaks it.
We've touched on it a few times here, but yeah,
Hmm.
that's critical, critical.
Yeah, I think
You
that's
got to
a
take care, got to take care of your employees. You got to take care of your clients. Yeah,
Yeah, I think that's an amazing point and a like important thing for the seed community to understand because I think we get lost in, the financials and the
yeah.
business propositions and the in our
Mhm.
target market and all that stuff. But if you
Mhm.
don't have a good uh core group of people around you, all of that stuff doesn't matter.
Yeah, they need each other, right? Financials are
Yes,
important
exactly.
because you have to keep the business going. But you can't
Exactly.
keep the business going without the right people, and the right
Exactly.
clients.
It's a
So
give and
yeah,
take.
it's you need
Hmm.
both, but I think the primary focus needs to be people for sure.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
I'm
I agree.
convinced of that. It's the way it's worked out these last 12 years for me. If you
Hmm.
focus on people and those people will follow you and you're almost guaranteed to have a successful business. As long as you put in the
Absolutely.
work, as long as you put in the work, take care of your people, there's
Hmm.
not much more else you need to do.
That's a great point. I totally agree. Yeah. And yeah, because you've had so much success so far, it makes me wonder, is there anything possibly new in the works for PuncHIIT? Like anything you want to promote that you think the seed community would be interested in?
Well, it's yeah, we kind of talked about it already, is the our relocation.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty big for right now.
for
Yeah, to
sure.
come up with something else big at this time would be pretty hard
Yeah,
because that's a pretty
that'd be
big
way
one.
too
Yeah.
much at the same time.
Yeah, but this relocation is going to be such a positive move for us. Yeah, it's
That's great.
with the recovery services and the treatment room and everything for massage and physio, and
Hmm.
we're even adding a boxing ring into our boxing and
Wow,
kickboxing community. Yeah, so
that's awesome.
it's kind of a lot of fun things. We'll be able to do some fun events, with boxing, just some
Hmm.
fun kind of not real big fights or anything, just kind of fun sparring matches or something, for
Hmm.
people that like that. Yeah.
Perfect.
And we always do events anyway. We do special events all the time for fundraising because we have our free youth boxing program for kids 12 to 15. So
Okay.
we always raise money from local businesses and the community. They invest, they donate to us, and we use that to support this free program for kids for boxing to help them develop into strong-minded adults. So we're always doing something. There's always some
Hmm.
kind of event we're doing, fundraising, or uh, just a client party or something. Just client
Hmm.
get together, staff get-togethers. We're always doing things
Nice.
like that. Yeah,
That's
but
amazing.
you'll see some once we get moved, then we'll do some bigger events. Yeah, so you'll see some
Okay.
bigger events coming
Awesome.
down soon. Yeah. Right
Maybe
now
like
it's just getting moved, getting all those amenities in place,
right.
marketing to the new neighborhoods.
Hmm.
So there's a lot of work ahead of us now in the next year or two for sure to get
Absolutely.
that all built up. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think based on the success you've had so far, I have no doubt that you'll do a great job of that transition
Oh,
and you'll
thank
come
you.
out the
Thank
other
you.
side even
Mhm.
better.
Well, it's
Absolutely.
worked so far. It's worked so far, and I'm going to keep on
Hmm.
working hard. I'm not going to stop working.
Yeah,
I'm going to keep
absolutely.
working at
Well,
it. Yeah.
that's the key to success right there.
Hmm.
Yeah. And finally, I'll end the interview with this. I was wondering if someone came to you wanting to start a fitness or wellness business in Halifax or just anything like sports related, what would be your number one piece of advice going into it?
Oh, that's a loaded question.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you have to look at obviously you have to look at competition.
Mhm.
And based on if it's a fitness facility, what type of fitness do you do, right? Is it something
Right.
like we do? Is it a big box gym? There's lots of boutique style gyms out there, or your martial arts gym. So it's going to depend on what type of gym, but you always have to look at where is your competition located. So,
Mhm.
and we did that too when we're researching the new location, is what's in the area that would directly compete with us.
Right.
And there's not a lot of direct competition. You got your big box gyms that we don't really compete with. There's people that go and they just want to lift weights on their own. That's
Mhm.
not really our style. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. If they don't
It's a
like
totally
being around a
different
lot of people while they're
mindset.
working out, they probably won't want to come to us. Yeah,
Right.
but the
Yeah, that
people
makes
that
sense.
do want a community, if they want accountability, then they're going to come to us. So
Mhm.
if you look around at who's in the area, how much competition there is. Sometimes there is competition, but maybe it's not a lot. Maybe you have enough population to support it. But
Hmm.
that's the number one thing you should look at for sure is what's your competition out there.
Right.
Hmm.
That makes sense. And then if there is competition, is the kind of thought process of how can I differentiate myself from that competition?
You definitely would have to do that. Yeah.
Hmm.
I'd be
Yeah.
inclined more to look at an area that doesn't have direct competition, unless it was just minor, maybe it's just only one other business. Then you say, okay, yeah, look at what can you do differently. I think we do enough things differently now that I don't think there's anybody that really does things exactly the way we do,
Hmm.
and so that kind of makes us stand out anyway. So I think we've accomplished that. We can move almost anywhere. I say almost. There are people that do somewhat similar to us. And if you're a
Hmm.
client, you don't know the difference between us and them until you go there.
Right.
So that's why you have to be careful too and watch who your competition is, because if they don't know you, then they're just as likely to go to the other person and just be happy going there until
Hmm.
they've tried you. Maybe they can try me and be happier and stay with me,
Right.
but you have to get them in the door first. So it's
Exactly.
always best to see where your competition is geographically, and
Hmm.
and if it's not possible for you to get in an area where there's no competition,
Hmm.
then you really have to work on your strengths. What are you strong at? And for
Yes.
us, that's the training, not exercising. Not just exercising. We're training, and we're learning skills, and we're building a fantastic community. We don't just talk community. We actually walk the walk. So you
Right.
walk into our gym and you feel it right away. Yeah,
That's
I've had people lots of times walk into our little gym in Spryfield. We're just in a basement underneath Station 6 restaurant.
yeah.
It's
Mhm.
just a little hole in the wall. But people walk in and they say they immediately feel comfortable in there. They walk in and they stay. Yeah. So anybody who goes in for a free first class or a 2-week trial, it's almost guaranteed they're going to stay with us. Yeah, because they just develop friends there and
Right.
they're just happy and comfortable right away. And we have a very diverse clientele. We have every ethnicity
Hmm.
and culture that you can imagine that go
Yeah.
there. Yeah, and it just mixes in well.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Well, that's very cool to hear. I wanted to just thank you again for joining me for this spotlight interview. I personally got a lot out of it and really enjoyed talking
That's
to you and
great.
picking your brain a little bit. And I hope
Great.
the Seed community will get the same out of it.
Hmm.
So yeah, thanks a lot. Of
You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you very much for doing this.
course, my pleasure.